Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, it is the report segment. Reports limited. There are some steelhead around, no doubt. It just seems like, and again, it's not necessarily early. There are definitely steelhead in the systems that should have winter steelhead, but not big shots. Most numbers that you might find are going to be in some of the smaller rivers up and down the coast. Now, that doesn't mean that in the valley you're not going to find some fish around. It's going to be one of those things where you're going to have to put your time in and play the conditions, right? Play either dropping water, level water, not necessarily clear water. We've talked about that before. Off color is my favorite, but some of these rivers are really making some weird bounces, and that's along the coast and inland. Let's go ahead and just jump to them, give you an idea of what's going on. My home river, you can see, is leveled off right now. By tomorrow morning, though, we do have rain that's in the forecast. We'll find out more from Carly here in just a little bit what the weather is really going to do. But there is a little bit of bounce that's forecasted starting tomorrow morning. Not horrible, but it is enough where you might be a little concerned with maybe getting out there. Might want to wait till Wednesday, Tuesday if you're going to get out and throw some baits around. But along the coast, pretty stable. I'm going to call 5s pretty solid for that particular river, which will give you an indication of all the North Coast rivers. And then working your way down south, they're just not showing as much of a bounce as what the Clack was showing, but they're all certainly something to consider. And we've talked about this a lot. This being early in the season, it's a great time to start getting your bearings on all the rivers you like to spend your time on, which will help you understand if there's going to be a shot of fish, and hoping that there's going to be a shot of fish. But anytime that you see these bounces, you get some more stink in the rivers, conditions are pretty good, fish will move in. And again, you can't catch them if you're sitting at home, unless you're watching GPS, and then you can head out at 10 when we wrap things up here. But certainly some options that are going to start getting very viable here in the next couple of weeks. Certainly get your stuff going. Take advantage of the sale over there at Fisherman's Marine. They are fully stocked with that gear that you want for steelhead season. And if you get it now, you won't even have the opportunity to complain that it's not available when you're in the middle of the season in January, right? Let's just get that out there. Thrills and Gills, it's the weekend adventure giveaway from the Mill Casino. It's simple. You can only register once, or enter once, I should say. Hit that little QR code, and you'll have a chance to win a weekend adventure over at Mill Casino, where you're going to go fishing with the folks from Sharky's Charters and go play around on the dunes, which, again, by the way, was one of my funnest things that we did this past summer with the folks from Spin Reel Dune buggy rental thing place. Spin Reel. You can't miss them. They're right there in Goose Bay. Pro Pack from Procure, for free. All you got to do is win it. You got to send Jason at procure.com an email, and you'll have a chance to win that weekly prize pack. And yes, you do need to enter each week if you wish to have a chance to win that prize pack. And this one, as of now, is slanted towards steelhead. And for Steve and Jason doing that, we truly do appreciate it by all means. Also, the weather, okay? Yesterday, we got some favorable weather conditions from Carly Olson. We'll find out what we're going to get this morning, what's going to be happening this upcoming week. And Carly, it doesn't look like things are changing too much from yesterday's forecast.
That's correct. We're seeing a pretty similar weather pattern. If you'll recall, we had some moments of sun breaks, some moments of showers here, and actually we have now entered into a moment of sun breaks, and we'll have a mostly sunny afternoon, but then those showers are set to return later this evening. Our highs for the day in Portland will be 48 degrees. Over on the coast, it'll be about an average of 50 degrees wherever you are over there. And in the northeastern part of our state, we're going to see some upper 30s in Baker City, mid 40s in Pendleton, and they'll have a mostly sunny day, actually, so very different from the western portion of the state. Now, we have seen some overnight showers. Like I said, we'll have a very dry midday portion, but then later this evening, probably around 7, is when our next system is set to come through. So that is going to bring a lot of overnight showers and also a lot of snowfall to the Cascades. In fact, there's a winter storm warning that is going into effect this evening and is going to last throughout the rest of the day tomorrow. That's going to bring several more inches of snow to our ski areas and at least a couple more inches of snow to those mountain passes. So do be careful if you are going to be out traveling Throughout the day tomorrow. We will have some sprinkles here and there during the midday hours, and then once again later on in the afternoon is when our next system comes around. So we're seeing a pattern of drier middays and then wetter times later in the afternoon. And then on Tuesday we're expecting more consistent rains, but then lighter rains too. And you can also see that temperatures are stair-stepping up a little bit. Today our high is 48 degrees. By the time we hit Wednesday, we'll be at 54 degrees, and then that will be the start of a bit of a dry streak that, as of now, is going to last until Saturday. So, Owen, enjoy the rain while it is here.
I don't like it. It looks like it's going to get warm, melt some snow, and run out of rain and get warm. That's interesting. It's going to get up into 54 degrees.
Well, let's focus on what we have right now. The rain and the snow is here for the next few days.
Yeah, very good point. Carly, thank you very much for all your help the last few weeks. It's been great. Okay, so we do have a couple calls that are coming in, and can we take a quick call, or should we just go ahead and hold on to it, Ryan? Yeah, let's take Al. Al is from Malala. He just called in. It's a perfect timing, Al. You hit it at just the right time. Looks like he got a question or a comment about running divers. Al, what's going on?
Yeah. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on. What's going on, sir?
Okay. I have a comment about, we used to run divers year ago, divers and bait, and I fished the Wilson River, and we do not run diver and bait anymore because of the native fish. When you run a diver and bait back, the fish tend to swallow it really bad. And we do not run diver and bait anymore on the rivers, especially now that we keep the hatchery fish.
Now that we what? I'm sorry?
We do not keep run diver bait because the fish swallow the bait when you back troll diver and bait.
Oh, I would agree with that, certainly. One of the reasons why we always recommend that if you are going to run diver and bait, you fish on rivers that are full of hatchery fish, which the Wilson, by the way, is loaded with hatchery fish, and so is numerous of others. But it also falls down. It also falls down to rigging and how you actually present it. But you are correct. There is no doubt about that. We always want to protect the wilds as best we possibly can, and that is great advice on so many rivers that we have that are wild rivers. We certainly don't do the same thing. Plugs is where you're going to want to do that. And we're going to talk about that with Cody in a little bit. 3.5 mag lips. That's by far my favorite current plug when you're talking about chasing steelhead. Now, there's a lot of options out there. Brad's Wigglers, another one that's incredibly effective and has been for eons. So there's a number of different ways that you can back troll and present bait other than diver and bait, but plugs and diver and bait we're going to cover with Cody in just a little bit. So don't go anywhere. We're going to come back with Cody Herman in just a few minutes.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, Because We Fish, by Hawken Fishing, Perfection in Fishing Gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.